Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everybody's all doing well. I want to give a quick thanks and shout out to everybody that subscribed to the channel and helped me get to the 500 subscriber mark. That definitely means a lot, and so thanks for everybody that subscribed and helped support the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to do a quick post-fight thoughts on a fight that took place over the weekend between Florian Marku and Luisetto. Marku was victorious by 8-round points victory, 78-75 over Luisetto, in what was a pretty entertaining fight. I thought Florian Marku was in control of the fight from beginning to pretty much the end. However, Luisetto, he tried hard. He was very game and tough. I thought he was a lot better than I expected and a lot of people expected. Before the fight, I didn't do a pre-fight breakdown or prediction on this fight due to there not being any boxing footage out there on the internet of Luisetto that I could find. Could only see like 10-year-old videos of him doing kickboxing. So I had a look at his resume online, and it wasn't too impressive. He hadn't really fought anybody of any note, so couldn't really do a post-fight breakdown on the fight. I figured Florian Marku would just go in and get the victory, which he did. But I will say Luisetto was a lot more competitive than I and a lot of people thought. He was very game and tough. He was durable. I had a pretty good defense. High guard. He was tucking up, blocking a lot of shots, and he was the busier of the two fighters. He tried hard, but Florian Marku was obviously just producing the better quality work and is the more skilled fighter of the two. A lot more versatile as well. Marku, like I say, Luisetto outworked Marku a little bit, but when Marku worked, he landed a lot cleaner, harder, more eye-catching shots. In this fight, it was, in my opinion, a bit of a step down in competition from Marku's last two opponents. But Marku showed, some improvements in this fight. He showed a lot of head movement, which I did know he had. I'd seen, video of him sparring, showing a lot of good head movement, and he had showed that in his last fights. He was also very calm in this fight, like he always is in his fights, even though he's pretty inexperienced as a professional boxer. Shows a lot of calmness in the ring. When guys are throwing shots at him, he's able to catch the shots, avoid and slip shots, and then counter. So, I think Marku put on a pretty solid display. However, I would have liked to seen him step up the gears a little bit more consistently, be a little bit busier in this fight, and try to break down Luisetto a little bit more, because in this fight, I feel like he did look for the knockout early, but I think he was just looking to hit Luisetto with one shot and hurt him and get him out of there with one shot. I think he should have maybe tried to break down Luisetto a little bit more, because he was very tough, and like I say, he had a pretty good high guard defense. So I think Florian should have focused more on trying to break him down, maybe go to the body a little bit more, try and break him down over the 8 rounds and stop him a bit late, rather than just looking for, one counter or something to try and hurt him and then finish him off. But like I said, I think this was a bit of a step back in terms of competition for Marku. However, I think it's good that they're keeping him busy, keeping him active, so that he can keep fit, keep sharp, and keep working on his skills and developing his game, which I think he still is obviously developing his game. Obviously, only being about 10 or 11 fights into his pro boxing career, he's still making improvements and adjustments to his style, still figuring himself out. I think Marku is better against opponents that come forwards and apply pressure on him and try to be aggressive with him, when he can kind of sit back a little bit, use his jab, but more kind of blind guys and walk them onto right hands and uppercuts and stuff like that. Use his jab a lot more. I think when guys are a bit more in survival mode or boxing on the back foot, I think he struggles a little bit more. However, he can go forwards and fight, but I think Marku's better on the back foot when he's got a guy being aggressive with him. In this fight, I think, like I said, I would have liked to see him step up the levels a bit more, step up the gears a bit more, and really try and break down Luisetto and get him out of there. However, look, he got a good 8 rounds in. He worked on his game. There were some improvements, like I say, a lot of head movement. However, I think because he was in such control of the fight, I think he was a bit overconfident, and I think in a couple of fights we've seen him get a little bit overconfident, a little bit too relaxed in there. Even in the Charlton fight where he got caught with a shot and got knocked down, I think it was simply because he was too overconfident, and in this fight we kind of saw that again. He seems to lose a little bit of focus somewhere in the fight. At some point in the fight, he got his hands down a bit too much, even though I know maybe he felt the guy's power and he felt the guy didn't have, anything for him to worry about. But you saw in the Charlton fight, he just got clipped with a shot and got put down. And this fight, he was fighting with his hands down. I know he was using a lot of head movement, but a couple times he got caught clean on the point of the chin with his hands down. I think he just needs to avoid taking those unnecessary risks, because, you don't want to really be taking unnecessary damage throughout your career when you're looking to make a run down the line for world titles in a couple of years' time, or, once you've got a few more fights and experience under your belt. You don't want to take unnecessary damage down at the, lower tier levels where you really don't need to. However, I think, they need to keep Marku active, keep him busy, look to maybe step up the competition slightly, a little bit more, but, obviously don't step him up too fast, because I'm not sure if he's quite at the European level and ready for guys like David Avanesian and Conor Benn. But for sure, those are fights I'd like to see maybe a year from now. I think, get him out there against a couple more guys, step him up slightly, and then look to try get him in there against, like an Avanesian for a European title or something. Maybe take one of his fights over to Albania, because I'm pretty sure he could fill out some stadiums out there. Even in England, he's extremely popular. Saw the crowd was very lively during his fight. So, yeah, I mean, the guy, he's definitely popular and he can definitely sell tickets. So you got to, I think they've got to manage him smartly, step him up slowly, and look to try and move him for a European title, maybe, 6 months to a year from now, and then go from there. Look to press on for maybe try and move him up to see if he can get a world title shot, or at least, some big kind of local fights there in Britain against guys like Conor Benn and stuff. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts were on the fight in the comment section below. Luisetto was definitely a lot tougher and a lot better than I expected. But Florian Marku, pretty comfortable victory over the weekend. Let me know in the comment section below what your guys' thoughts were on the fight. Thanks for listening. Talk to you guys again soon. Cheers.